I've heard this new Karthik films opened really big.
Yeah.
So I think if you tell something beautifully, no matter what genre it is, people are going to love it.
Sure.
And people are watching Karthik's film even in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
I don't know why, not for our actors, but our heroines were always loved here. You
Yeah.
know, Sridevi ji, Rekha ji, Hema Malini ji, Deepika Padukone, Aishwarya Rai, every top Hindi actress of all time, Jayaprada, comes from where we are. When Dravid walks out to bat, it's not the South Indian batsman who's come out to bat. Part of it is also, I believe, maybe some of our own insecurities. We used to think, yeah, will people want to watch us?
Sure.
And I think Rajmouli sir paved the way for us, saying people will watch anything as long as it's beautiful and resonant and heart-touching. I'm known as somebody who writes my own stuff because I come from a non-filmy background and I wasn't ever afforded a great script.
My dad told me when I moved to Mumbai, they're just like, do whatever you want, just don't bring the cops home.
I think actually I was kept as far away from the industry as possible by my dad.
Hello and welcome. I'm Parul Sharma and you're watching Zoom TV. Today I have with me the incredible and talented cast of the upcoming film Major. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
Hi.
So firstly, big congratulations on the trailer. It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Hair-raising, goosebumpy, all of that. I want to go right back to the basics with Saiee and Sobhita. Tell me, what other...
boom, bye.
Yeah, I just got shut
I'm
out.
not required here right now.
I got shut
Just
out.
kidding, just kidding.
I'm sorry.
So I'll start with you
I'm
guys.
doing a minor role in the film. If you didn't know this.
You may have heard, you may have seen. What are the pros and cons of working with somebody who is an actor in the film but who's also written the whole damn thing?
Oh shit.
Tell me. And don't be diplomatic.
You गाली दिला रहे हो
No,
यार.
not being diplomatic. So,
I can give.
I feel like I'm an actor, like, you know how they say, oh, he's a director's actor, she's a... I feel like I'm a writer's actor, if there's such a thing. So there have been times when I have argued with the director, saying, no, I think this is what the script implies, we should do it this way, even if the director felt a certain way. But when the writer is also your co-actor, is also like very active along with the director in direction, suddenly you just feel like you have very little room to argue with them. So I'm like, shit, I have to do what they say.
Because if I'd say he meant this, he'll be like, no, actually I meant this.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Yeah, so the room for negotiation is minimal.
Did she argue with you?
Can I give you some tabloid gossip?
Yes.
Shobhita does not listen to...
Anyway.
What the hell? That is not true.
Saiee, what about you?
Oh, for me, I think I don't even know because like half the time when you were doing it in Telugu, I don't know what he was telling me to do. So I think it was good for me because like I was
जो
doing
करना
what
तो
I
वो
was
ही कर रही
told.
थी वो.
I was doing what I was told.
I mean, it's good in a way. You're like a blank canvas and you're just like,
Yeah.
I'll just do whatever I can.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing when, see, I feel like if somebody has an artistic voice, you may choose to monetize on one thing. Like say someone's a like phenomenal singer or a dancer.
Sure.
But I feel like as somebody who's artistic, you will be curious about other mediums also.
Yeah.
You may choose to retain them as hobbies. So I feel like any truly creative person is creative across a variety of fields.
Sure.
So to see Sesh dabble with writing, acting, his curiosity with direction, his passion for, say, editing, you know, he enjoys it. When I see this, that to me is amazing. That's how a creative person should be in their pursuit, ideally.
Absolutely.
That's great. You're all like
All
fuel
in.
tanks are firing.
Firing.
Yeah.
Sesh, at any moment, did the mammoth weight of the realization dawn upon you that you are playing a literal hero who has, you know, actually given their life for the country, whose family will be watching, whose entire story is larger than life in itself, A, and then B, if those moments did happen, what was like the internal dialogue you would have with yourself in that time?
Don't screw it up.
It's not pressure, it's responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, people these days, they talk about Captain America, but we have a real superhero, you know, Major Sandeep Unikrishnan. And his feats do not need VFX.
Absolutely.
So the responsibility is huge. And I mean, for my films, just sort of bringing both what was earlier discussed and this question into it, I'm known as somebody who writes my own stuff because I come from a non-filmy background and I wasn't ever afforded a great script.
Right.
So all my films getting the love and all my well-wishers and fans and all the people who've liked my cinema. It's happened because I did it definitely through the grace of my team, but I kind of had to do it for myself.
Because
So
you
writing
had
was
to
a-
make the opportunity for yourself.
Matlab, writing
yeah.
was a necessity.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily my first passion. I'm an actor through and through.
Sure.
And I think with Major Sandeep, I'm a fan first. You know, मतलब शाहरुख खान के फैन होते हैं, आमिर खान के फैंस होते हैं, रजनीकांत के फैंस होते हैं. मैं मेजर संदीप उन्नीकृष्णन का फैन हूँ. And when I saw his picture on TV, I thought, who is this person who looks like he could be my older cousin?
Right.
He and I look similar. I'm a bit lighter, but he's a bit slimmer, a bit
Right.
fitter. So I wondered who this man is. And I have so many cousins who look like him. And over the years, on each birth anniversary, there'd be an interview, there'd be an article, there'd be a photograph, something new that'd pop up. His love for animals.
Sure.
And I'd say, yeah, this is one more amazing thing. And then everyone's like, yeah, he saved so many hundreds of people. I'm like, yes, that's great. But look at this
also-
amazing thing.
Right.
And people don't know. They simply don't know. The encouraging fact is the way we studied Gandhiji and Bhagat Singh in school. Today, in several schools in Bangalore and Hyderabad,
chapter, yeah.
he's taught as a chapter. So I know our children are thinking of him as the Bhagat Singh of today.
Sure.
Our grandchildren are going to think of him as the Bhagat Singh.
Were there moments where you were like a little overwhelmed and sort of had to tell yourself that, like, kind of detach yourself and be like, okay, I need to act this and not be maybe overwhelmed by the fact that you're a fan?
I want to add to this question actually. Like, I mean, so we had done a film together called Gudachari. That is our first film together, and through the
Call
course.
nahi re, some 150 million people saw it in Hindi also.
Okay, I'm just humble.
Casual flex.
Anyway, so through the course of that film, I saw him obsess about like Sandeep Unnikrishnan, and of course I had heard about him, but his obsession was very peculiar. He was in love with him, and I felt like over the course of the years since the filming of Gudachari,
Yeah.
at that point I had no idea that it would become a film that I would also get a chance to be a part of. So I feel like he's lived so closely with his story and his life that I don't know where he ends and where Sandeep begins, you know.
Right.
So I don't think he can truly choose to dissociate, but somewhere I think I felt this as somebody who was around him over the building of this world.
I want to pivot a little bit and talk about, there's a lot of talk of this whole South language films and Hindi language films and all of that, and I personally find it very divisive, and at this point I think it's just a headline. I want to talk about how great it is that we're actually having the crossovers now, that we're kind of cross-promoting, that we're kind of just as a country creating stellar, incredible, successful Indian movies, right? How great is it for you guys that this is happening, especially in today's current climate of our country?
I'll let Saiee take that one first.
Okay.
I think it opens up a lot of opportunities. Like a lot of friends of mine who are aspiring actors now know that there's a whole new industry they can look forward to or look at work in. And I think it's really great that that's happening. And I think it's been happening for a while. Like I used to come back from school and watch dubbed South movies on Star.
Let's not say the name of the
Let's
channel.
Yeah.
Beep
On TV.
on X amount.
On TV.
Yeah.
And I think the only difference is now people are going to a theatre and watching it.
Sure.
I think, it's not about South versus North.
Yeah.
I think it's about the South and the North coming together to make
Exactly.
great movies for the country. Part of it is also, I believe, maybe some of our own insecurities. We used to think, yeah, will people want to watch us?
Sure.
And I think Rajmouli sir paved the way for us, saying people will watch anything as long as it's beautiful and resonant and
Yeah.
heart-touching. So when I see headlines ki yaar आजकल Bollywood की फिल्में नहीं चल रही हैं, मतलब South की फिल्में चल रही हैं, I think at the end of the day, like I've heard this new Kartik Aaryan films opened really big.
Yeah.
So I think if you tell something beautifully, no matter what genre it is, people are going to love it.
Sure.
And people are watching Kartik's film even in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
So it's, and that's what it is. And I don't know why not for our actors, but our heroines were always loved here. You
Yeah.
know, Sridevi ji, Rekha ji, Hema Malini ji, Deepika Padukone, Aishwarya Rai, every top Hindi actress of all time, Jayaprada, comes from where we are.
You know, I feel
Sobhita
like
now.
when he gives me a compliment, तो हजम नहीं होता है.
सब ठीक है ना?
Yeah, we fight too much.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like see, I'm a Telugu native. My mother tongue is Telugu, but my work, like my film experiences, have begun in Mumbai through Hindi films, and it felt absolutely normal to me. It didn't feel like, oh, I'm from the south, because that's not how one thinks. When we're watching a cricket match, we're watching as Indians.
Yeah.
So I feel like cinema is such an influential medium.
Absolutely.
That somehow I feel like maybe that integration hasn't happened all that naturally so far.
Right.
Like how in films like Madrasi jokes or something, you know, which is, everything has its place. There's nothing wrong with it. But I feel like when, say, somebody sitting in Kanpur is understanding the culture of, say, Kerala, because that person's watched Kumbalangi Nights, then it makes you closer together as a nation, because I feel like we have so much diversity in terms of language and culture.
Absolutely.
That cinema coming together and people watching each other's films is a beautiful way to find like that synergy. So I think it's amazing.
Absolutely. I mean, we have enough division in this country. I feel like cinema should be one of the few things that
It's also
Unite
putting
us.
India on
Unite.
the map. Like a few of my friends who were in college, I was talking to them and their friends were like, oh my god, we saw this Indian movie today. Can I name the movie? We saw KGF 2 today and it's so great. And they didn't call it like a South movie or a Bollywood movie. They just said an Indian movie. So
Yeah,
It's-
like
it's
when Rahul
amazing.
Dravid walks out to bat, it's not the South Indian batsman who's come out.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, I personally find it very silly, but I mean, I'm
I
glad
think it's
that we
amazing. I'm
kind of-
so excited as an audience that
Absolutely.
suddenly it's like I have so much more to like celebrate.
Yeah, and to like dip your feet into everywhere.
Yeah.
Sesh, we've heard from you and your colleagues how deeply obsessed and invested in Major Sandeep's story
Okay,
you are.
alright, I'll shut up then.
No, as an actor, I want to know from you, do you tend to detach yourself easily once you're done with the movie, or do you sort of linger with the character and does it stay with you?
Major Sandeep is not a character in this scenario.
Right.
I detach. This is a scenario where this isn't my next hit film.
Right.
This is my dream film. So that's two very different things. And also in a way, that's perhaps why we decided to shoot this film shot for shot, word for word, line for line in Hindi, shot for shot, word for word, line for line in Telugu.
For the authentic cinema goer experience.
Yeah, you know,
I think
she was
it's
saying
necessary,
something
yeah.
about the Kanpuriya, right? मतलब
Yeah.
जो कानपुर में बैठे हैं उनको नहीं लगना चाहिए कि यार मैं किसी और की फिल्म
Movie dekh. Right. Sai, you come from a film family and you've grown up around films and sort of had that whole entire background. What was the journey like to coming to a realization that I also want to be an actor? And then also, were there any warnings about joining showbiz from the fam?
I think actually I was kept as far away from the industry as possible by my dad, because he treated it like a place of work. Like if my dad went to office, he wanted to take me with him every day.
Yeah.
So I used to go whenever I felt like, and I used to want to be there all the time. And I actually started off with wanting to be a sumo wrestler. I was really, yeah, I swear, and no one would let me eat. I was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
And no one let me eat. And they were like,
Interesting
you know,
career choice.
because first I said I want to be an actor, and they were like, listen, you're
Sai
8.
wanted to be a sumo wrestler midday.
No, but
a
honestly,
garbage man.
because no one would let me eat, and then I was like, I want to be a sumo wrestler, that's my career. And they just like given up on me. And then by the time I was like in school, there was investment banking, but acting was somewhere in the back of my head.
Sure.
And then I picked up on theatre in school, and then I think that is where it started.
The bug kind of came in from
Yeah, and there was no like warnings given to me. There was lots of advice from a lot of people. I think the biggest one that stuck with me the most was when you go to work, say on a set, or even when you're meeting people socially for work and you're making friends, it's all fine. But always know that you're coming back to your house, to your real life. It's not your life. That is a life you've created for yourself, but you come back to your own life.
Yeah. Grounding
That
yourself there.
really stuck with me.
Nice.
Well, thank you for not
Sobhita,
thinking of us in your life.
Talking about your journey, you sort of came to Bombay, coin toss between 3 cities, and a lot of.
you know that.
Yes, I read the article that came out about this. You know, it takes an immense amount of guts to sort of do that and come on a whim and just stick it out even when things are not working out in your
Yeah,
favor, right? do you think that, not do you think, how much has the resilience that you built at that time helped you? Because, and do you think it was a necessary thing for you to have built now in your film journey so far?
Do I really have a choice?
Fair enough.
You know, I mean, like I mean, when I moved to Mumbai for college education, the intention was not to be in the movies, but towards the end of college, when like when I won Miss India, it was something that excited me, and when I look back, there was a certain naivety and like innocence, because I was excited by it, because I thought, oh, the guys in my college will think I'm really cool, but there was no plan. So I think eventually when I always loved fashion, so I was curious about the industry, but obviously it wasn't going to come to me easy, because I just didn't know how. My parents were absolutely disconnected. It's an academically oriented family, and I dropped out of my law master's degree. So that period was actually very, very...
हाथ से निकल गई है,
Yeah, they
वापस
were
ले आओ.
like, my dad told me when I moved to Mumbai, they're just like, do whatever you want, just don't bring the cops home. So I'm like, okay.
That's pretty basic, huh? It's just like,
Okay,
basic
so the cops were over last night.
all our time.
No,
How do
so
you
that
bring cops home?
You do something
as in
illegal.
like, yeah, you know something. So no, that time, no, that it was amazing, because I'm fortunate that I've surfaced.
Yeah.
Like I had the opportunity, but I gave myself a timeline, and I wanted to give it my best. I did close to 1,000 auditions in my life. I barely got any of them, and then when my first film happened, and I was taking the route like I did fashion, I did modeling, and I didn't quite know that I would fall in love with acting so deeply, because maybe I didn't grow up watching films, and it felt like when I got that first audition for films and I got the part, and I realized, shit, I really like this. I just didn't know, because I didn't grow up watching movies.
ये कहाँ पे छुपा हुआ था?
Yeah, but that phase was did give me resilience, and it has really built my character. It made me less afraid, because when you have nothing, you have nothing to lose, you know.
That's a good one. That's a bumper sticker right there.
Mahesh sir and Medhaji, Saiee's parents, saw it last night.
Okay.
So
And my
let's-
dad's very critical about movies. Like he barely says anything good about movies. If he has nothing good to say, he won't say anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he actually took the phone from me when I was talking to him. And I don't know what he said to you though.
It's so lovely. Vastav's in my all-time top 10, and it's so interesting because Mahesh sir's her dad, and Namrata is the producer. So this film has a big Vastav connection, and to get this sort of amazing response from her parents, from Sajid sir's family, and so many people who saw it last night, where they're screaming, and there's like this excitement and this sort of passionate discussion and discourse about the film.
Also, all the girls that got a crush on him. I can mention that. My aunties, my
Aunties are crushing on Saieee.
I was on call with him and I'm telling him, all my friends have a crush on you, and my aunties are next to me saying, your aunties also, your aunties also.
Fab.
And I was like, okay.
Telugu cinema, if we're releasing on a Friday morning, till Thursday night, you're still trying to get the drive ready. So we're never ready. That's the nature of Telugu cinema. And the nature of Hindi cinema is, I hear so many people be so cautious that they don't want their film to be spoken about badly. So they never reveal anything until, yaar, jo dekha jayega, theatre mein dekha jayega,
Right.
Friday morning ko. So we were like, we know what we have. We know that there's nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Everything about this film is so transparent and so open and so clear that even the judgment doesn't hurt us. And
That's a lovely way to look at it.
yeah, and that honest intention seeps through the pores of every scene, every shot in the film. And so, yeah, we're going ballistic from tomorrow, starting with Pune.
Can't wait, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great, great time ahead, and good luck for everything in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.